At this point, we've finished most of the major modifications to the body of the car, and now we're ready to go in and start to build some new rims for the tires of our sports car. Okay, so here's the sports car with most of the body modifications completed. Let's take a look at the rims that were built in the original Digital Tutors car modeling kit. And these were built, I believe it was just with a cylinder with these different arms extruded out, which is a pretty good method. But we're going to explore something completely different, a completely different technique on how to build these rims. So just to start off, I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of all the other tires, except for probably one tire. I'll leave one of them behind. So I'm just going to go in and delete these. And we'll go ahead and keep this tire behind. And we'll just delete this, the actual rim portion of it, the actual spokes. Everything else we'll go ahead and leave behind. So to build this actual spoke area, we're going to go ahead and jump over to Adobe Illustrator. And what we're going to do is go ahead and build the shape of these spokes in Illustrator, and then we can import these Illustrator curves back into Maya and use that to build the spokes. Okay, so I'm going to open up Illustrator real quick, and if you don't have Illustrator, or if you're not using Illustrator, most of the techniques I'm about to show you will also work in things like freehand, or if you don't have that either, you can also download a free 30-day demo version of Illustrator from Adobe's website. So let's go ahead and start things off with a new file, and just go ahead and accept the default size. Okay, the tool that we're going to start out with for the shape of our spoke is the star tool, and that's found underneath this rectangle, underneath the type tool. If you click and hold on this rectangle, this menu will pop out, and let's choose the star tool, and that'll be the base shape of our spokes. And you can either click and drag the star out and make the shape however you want it, or if you just simply click once and let off, it's going to bring up this dialog box that'll let you control not only the outer radius but also the inner radius, so you can have the star much more pointed, or you could have the star be a little fatter, whatever you happen to be looking for. For this one that we're going to be doing, let's go ahead and set the outer radius to about 70, and the inner radius is going to be about 20. And also, inside this dialog box, you have control over how many points it's going to have. For this, we're going to go ahead and leave it at the default 5 points, a 5-pointed star. Okay, so here's the star that it created for us. Okay, so it's got a decent amount of a outer radius compared with the inner radius. So what I'm going to do now is let's zoom in on one of these stars, one of the actual points. And what I want to do is over here on my pen tool, if I click and hold down, you can see a few menus pop out of this button. And the one I'm going to go for is this Add Anchor Point tool. It's the little pen with a little plus sign in the upper right hand corner. Okay, so with the star selected and with this Add Points tool, let's go ahead and just click once and click over on the other side of this point, and what that's going to do is add 2 new anchor points. Okay, and this is, you can kind of see in relation to the rest of the star about where I'm putting these points. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in on this area, and what I'll do is use this direct selection, and that's the white arrow up here. And what we can do is just pick these points up and go ahead and just move them over to the side. So what we'll wind up with is a slightly wider top that's a little bit flatter and a little more like a tire rim or a spoke. So what we need to do is go in and do that same thing for the 4 remaining points. Now, rather than just sit here and have you watch me do that, I'll go ahead and open up a file that I've already done that next step of adding more anchor points to either side of this star. So I'm going to go ahead and just close this, and let's open up the tire pattern partial. Okay, and this is just the exact same file that I was working with earlier. That's just had this one step of adding these anchor points to either side of this star. So what we can do now is, if you look at this inner portion of the spoke, you've got a real point right here, and that's really not what we're wanting on our overall tire rims. So what I can do is, if I click and hold on this pen tool again and go to the very last tool option, which is this Convert Anchor Point tool, with that selected, what I can do is now click and drag on one of these anchor points, and what that's going to do is just pull out that Bezier handle and round this out so that it's not, you've got now more of a swoosh shape rather than just a point like you've got here. So let's go ahead and just do that for the other 5 points. Okay, so what we should wind up with is something like this. Okay, now in the next video, we'll go ahead and start to add some more detail to this spoke.